Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dirtnation Offroad. So today we're going to be bringing you is a product review, and the product that we're reviewing today is the Exogear SE26 soundbar. Let's check it out. So first off, big shout out to Exogear for sending this out to me. I'm going to be giving them a honest review on the product, letting you guys know what I think, all that fun stuff. But this is the SE26, so it is a 26-inch soundbar. It's got a few different features. It's got a lot of things going on. We're going to talk about all that in this video. Now looking on the side here, these are geared towards, you know, a variety of different things, right? If you want to put on your golf cart, put it on your boat, put it in your workshop, and then UTVs, side-by-sides, all that stuff. We're going to change it up a little bit because we're going to be put on our Nissan Frontier rock crawler. So this thing has a cage, and this is meant to be bolted onto a cage, or you can like drill it into something, but I want to mount it on a semi non-permanent area right now because I might end up putting on our other rock crawler once we have a cage on it. But this is going to be the truck we're going to put it on, so I think it'll be pretty fun to get a good sound system on this, especially, you know, this thing already has light whips and party stuff and a bunch of things going on, and it'll be, you know, a good time to get some music on the trail. Obviously you guys won't hear the music on the trail because, well, copyright. Now another key thing to mention, this is waterproof, mudproof, sandproof, shockproof, and snowproof. So it's got all the proofing that you guys would want. And then we got 4 times mid-range, 2 tweeters, wow. And then 2 woofers. And then you have some stuff inside the box, and then it has an integrated button pad. I think it comes with, has a light bar on the back, has a remote. There's a bunch of stuff. So what we'll do is we're gonna do an unboxing. We'll show you what's inside the box. We'll talk about some of the features, and then we'll get started with installation and everything from there. Let's get started. Oops, fucked it up. Hardware. Wow. So we got clamps. Oh, this is beefy. I like it. Check it out. Sheesh. Got I'm guessing this is, so that's pretty cool. Check this out. So it has like kind of a ridge system so that, you know, you can mount this in whatever orientation that you want, right? So it'll lock it into place like that. You see how it's kind of grooved out to where you can pick whatever you want. So I like that. So it looks like there is a wiring harness, so we'll have to figure that out. How do we have to wire it up? So they have aux in, aux out, accessories, and then power in. Okay. We have some clamp stuff, and then looks like some like weather stripping or something. We got the remote right here. Remote has a case, which is pretty cool. Hey, shut up. Wiring harness. So yeah, we'll figure that out. That's for power. And then this is, I'm guessing, I guess we'll have to get that figured out. Got a few things to figure out, don't we? All right, there we are. We got all our stuff here. So there's a bunch of hardware and other things going on. So we'll show you all that when we do the installation. Now, what I am thinking is I am gonna go ahead and take off this high lift jack. Dustin, why would you take off your high lift jack? Well, let me show you why. Because mine tried to kill me already, and high lift jacks, look, if you ever use a high lift jack, they are useful. But understand, they actively want to kill you. So you need to understand that. So I'm gonna be taking off the high lift jack, and we are gonna mount it right here. Now I'm gonna figure out, am I gonna mount it facing which way, because I don't know if I want to just control it from the back right here or control it from the inside, you know, open the window and I can press all my buttons and beep boop 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 and all that stuff. So we'll have to figure that out. Let's get started. We're gonna take off the high lift jack, and then we're gonna start looking at other things, see how we get this thing installed. Let's get it. All right, let's get started with mounting. Now first off, there is a bunch of hardware that you don't necessarily need for this installation. I believe this is to mount it from the top, or kind of accessory bracket or something, but I'm not going to end up using these. The ones I am going to use is the little Phillips screws that are going to help hold the mount into place. So let's get started. I originally thought this might have been like some kind of weather stripping, but I believe this is for the clamps themselves if you don't want to damage your whatever metal, you know, because the clamps are metal, but my cage is already rusted and everything, so I don't really worry about that. So I'm not going to use these, but this is a good option for those looking to keep their products looking nice. If I can sit on here correctly. Oh yeah. So you can see here our mounting brackets. There's 4 Phillips to lock that into place. So we got those. We're going to put on the other side now. All right, so that's on there. So pretty much we'll just mount it like that. I think that would be it right there. We're going to take these you need a flathead screwdriver, and we're gonna just loosen those all the way to release those hose clamps. Slide that in. Cool, check it out, she is mounted. Now the clamps do hold it pretty good, but because I freaking yeehaw this truck all over the trail, I threw 2 giant zip ties down the center so that it'll just, you know, hey, 4 spots is better than 2, right? So it's on there pretty darn good. I think she'll be fine. And then taking a look on the inside right here, we can do our controls from the inside. It'll be blasting up, so it'll come in here, it'll go out. So I think we'll be good to go there. Next, we're gonna move on to wiring. So we have some wiring right here, and I'm probably just gonna tie it into this system that we have in the back. So should be fun. We'll get on this, and then I'll show you exactly what I do, because I have to play around a little bit. But this is meant to be hooked up straight to the battery with this cable, and then this one right here is to hook up to auxiliary or ACC, so that you can just do it when you turn on your key. So we'll see what we do right now. All right, so we are all wired up. She's into place. I've already tested it. It actually works pretty well. We'll talk about that in a second, because we're gonna run some tests. But first and foremost, this is our wiring. Now, what sucks about where I mounted it is like there's no real good way to put the wiring. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just wrap this up in some plastic and electrical tape, so that has a nice watertight, dust-tight seal, so we can have all these wires covered, and then I'll just go ahead and put them out of the way right here. On the inside here, I ended up just tying it in from, this is our connections, you know, that goes out to the rock lights and the light whips and everything, the light bar. And I tied it in down here. There is an 8-foot cable, so there is enough space to run it to the battery, but I decided not to, because I already have the wiring right here, so why not tie it in? And then once I move it, I don't have to remove a bunch of wiring. I just have to remove it from right here. So it's looking good so far. Don't mind my bird's nest. Okay, that light's on fire, trust me, I'll be the first to know. With all that, I'm gonna get all this wrapped up, and then let's do a road test. And then, hey, this is mud proof, this is waterproof, this is all the proofs, right? We are gonna test that coming up next. Let's get started. All right, there she blows. Look at, all hooked up, ready to go. Now let's check in over here. So I can't play copyrighted music, obviously, so I'm on Epidemic Sound, which is all the, that's where I get all the tunes for the YouTube channel itself. Hold on, let's turn this off. So there it is, check it out. So that's probably only about half volume. Let's see. I'm just a monkey old plane. And don't you know the controller, so you can, okay, there we go. We also have controls for, so there is the dual lights, which you guys probably can't see too well, but look at, I'm pressing the button to change the different lights, so it'll be different colors, or it'll play along with the music. And then there is a LED light bar on the back side, so we'll probably do some video at night. But look at, there's the different lights. You can do different colors, which is pretty cool. Now you're not going to see that too well. It'll just light up my bed a little bit, but this one you'll be able to see, so pretty cool. But back to the music. So with the controller, you can go back or you can go forward. It's pretty cool. So far, I will say that the speaker quality is pretty good. It's loud. Much like a lot of speakers, it leaves a little bit to desire, you know, to be desired in terms of bass. I think every single speaker out there could do with some more bass, but this one sounds really good, very loud. We're gonna do like a road test right now, and then we'll do some water onto it. So here's our road test. Right now it's at about half volume, so it's loud enough to where you can hear it. You can still have a conversation if you need to, let's say with the person next to you. It's not too intrusive, but let's see, if we were to go, let's go all the way up as we drive. That's back down to about half. So not too shabby. Don't try this at home. Alright, you guys ready to wrap up this video? I think I'm ready. So, it's been about a month since we put the Exogear SE26 on the truck. Since then, we've gone on a few trips. We have used the speaker quite a bit, but not in the ways that I originally expected, because we've only gone out on I think 2 or 3 trips with this truck since, and we have since broken it, which is why I have a dry shaft right there. Videos on that coming very soon, but been out on a couple trips now. Because we're always recording on our trips and wheeling and, you know, Azusa trips and stuff like that, I'm not necessarily near my truck. Didn't necessarily use the speaker. I use it as I drive around sometimes and all of that, but because we don't like copyrighted music in our videos anyways, I wasn't really using the speaker as much as I anticipated. But where I did find myself using the speaker the absolute most is right here at home, because although I hate wrenching during the summertime, I have found myself wrenching so much this year to where I'm spending a lot of time after work working on vehicles. You know, I've been working on this dry shaft here. I have to change a U-joint. There's a couple other things I have to change. I had to make some adjustments to the long travel on the Tacoma, as well as, you know, do some other stuff, changing the grill. I had to change the winch, you know, change tires around, rotations, doing all that. And then over here, you know, we rebuilt the transfer case on our 88 Toyota pickup. And since then, we've also been doing a little bit of Rubicon prep, because we got the Rubicon coming up very soon. And because of that, I've had to make some other changes, and I've been working on stuff. Now, why am I talking about all this shenanigans working on vehicles? Because during this entire time where I am working on vehicles, I'm using this speaker. I usually have Bruceberry parked usually right here or nearby, to where I can use this speaker, play some music nice and loud as I work on stuff. And I have found it to be very nice, very refreshing compared to using a regular Bluetooth speaker, because I can use it for hours on end hooked up to the vehicle. And to be honest, this doesn't take that much power from the vehicle's battery with, you know, with the truck off. It actually does not drain that much battery, and I was surprised about that. The first example of me seeing that was right after I installed this. We actually hosted a get-together at the house, and I had Bruceberry parked right in the front. We had a couple, you know, easy up set up with some chairs, and right there I had the music blasting for probably 7 or 8 hours. And when I jumped back into Bruceberry, started the truck, it fired right up. No issues, didn't, you know, power down, didn't have any, you know, battery problems, nothing like that. So I found it pretty impressive that I could run this off of the battery for so long and the vehicle will still start and not have any issues. Much better than what I'm used to, at least with the Bluetooth speakers that I've traditionally used. I usually have the smaller ones, so they don't like really last that long in terms of battery. So having something like this to where I don't have to worry about the battery, it's nice and loud. It's much louder than a lot of speakers that I would use. It's hooked up directly to my phone, so I can Bluetooth it and I can do all that stuff. And it is hooked up directly to the battery, or wired into the battery, so I don't have to have the vehicle running while I use it. All of those things, super positive, super good, loving it about this. Now, a couple other things to mention. You guys already saw we did get this thing wet. We probably got it muddy in Azusa because I did do a little bit of mudding. I had a little bit of fun with that. It's definitely shockproof because we did go on a couple rock crawling trips. We bounced this truck around quite a bit. Haven't had any issues with the speaker since. And then I'm gonna throw another proof in there because it had what? Snowproof, shockproof, mudproof, waterproof, dustproof. I think this thing is sunproof because this truck sits in the driveway facing that way, which sun rises, sun sets, and most of the day this thing is sitting in the sun and there's no fading on it, there's no problems, hasn't cooked any of the internals or anything like that. So side note, hey, is it sunproof? Probably. So I'm pretty surprised about that this thing can sit in the sun all damn day and just not have any problems. But all in all, the SE26 is a very good product. It is easy to install. I think, you know, having multiple different options or ways that you can mount it is good because it gives you a lot of utility, it gives you a lot of versatility and where you can put it. And, you know, the wiring and all that stuff is super easy. It's easy to use. Like, this thing just all around is a good, solid, easy to use product for anybody out there looking for a sound system, looking for a sound bar, something to mount on different types of vehicles, right? You know, this thing was marketed towards, right, UTVs, boats, freaking golf carts, what else, workshops, whatever it may be, right? I ended up mounting on a rock crawler and it works exactly as I would need it to, right? It's on there solid, has good sound, it's wired up nice and clean, does everything that I needed to do. As for negatives, there's not many. You know, I mentioned earlier in the video that it does leave a little bit to be desired in terms of like bass quality, but I think anytime you have a big speaker or anything that doesn't have like a significant subwoofer that you can like place, or a big box, right, what we're used to hearing, then I think in that case a lot of speakers, a lot of Bluetooth speakers or things like this, they're gonna lack the bass that we traditionally want to hear, right? But other than that, I think the bass isn't bad, sounds good. All the other stuff sounds great. The quality is great. It is very loud. You know, a lot of times it's so loud that I gotta, you know, turn it down because listen to how quiet my neighborhood is. Right? I'm blasting this in the neighborhood. Everybody knows what I'm listening to. So, but there it is. That is the review of the Exogear SE26. If you guys are interested in picking one of these up or checking it out for yourself or checking out any of the other Exogear products, you can check out the link down below. We'll have it in the description. But that's it for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make subscribe, channels, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Patreon. You also have shirts, hats, hoodies, and all those goodies. Dirtnation Offroad, BigCartel.com. Until next time, thank you guys. Let's get it.